Hey there, and happy Wednesday. It's so good to be back with you and sharing some inspiration online. I've missed that. So Belle Harder, Inspiring Other, has been inspiring others through live classes. And so now it's time to show you some of those projects here online. And today I'm bringing you probably the favorite from Stamp Camp yesterday. And this is the Silly Old Bear Suite. And I think it's probably been the most popular suite out of the new release, new catalog, online exclusives, and just sweet little critters. So people are crazy about the paper, and so I want to take a moment to just show you that. I have done a couple in-person events since the catalog went live, and then I lost my voice, and so I thought there's no way that I could put this together, or if I even just did like put a reel together with music or whatever, somebody might think like, oh, I'm not getting her sound or something, because you're used to how I do my videos. I don't change things up too often. I usually, check in with how things are going and such. And yeah, so yesterday I had 26 people here at my house for Stamp Camp. So it was just a crazy fun day. And what did Weston say? That was so cute. Oh yeah. So two of my grandkids came over towards the end, and my oldest grandson, Weston, he's like, Grandma, he looked around and he said, all this stuff, that all came out of your little craft room? I'm like, yes, it did. So you kind of have to see it to believe it some days, but it just filled my heart to see so many people chatting, crafting, having a good time. And there was even some celebration in the mix. My team member Jean, she was here from St. Peter, and she just reached a very nice milestone career sales of 200,000. So I had flowers here for her. Kind of interrupted the momentum to share that news and have everybody clap for her. So that was really fun. But let me get started with the card, because I want to take like a moment to also to show you products, because this is the first time I'm showing the suite. Then I kind of do a little bit more in depth as far as what is all part of it. So here's the card that I will be making. So I'm just going to set that aside. And then I want to show you this. If you guys like to do a screenshot, that will tell you everything that I'm using to make it. And I'll also post this list attached to the link and such as well, to help you with shopping and that. All right, and a lot of times people struggle, it's not just you, to find the online exclusives when there's a new release or even something that has been previous. So I think today I should try and just even put a link on my Facebook page with just online exclusives and the latest. If you print them out, this is what it will look like. And if you want me to send it to you in Messenger or something, just say, please send link or something, and I can do that. That way you don't have to check back to see when I post this and such. So the online exclusives, the biggest thing was this whole suite of products. And so I'll go over, there's two stamp set die bundles, some paper, and an embossing folder. And if you actually, here's the two bundles. You can buy them separate. And like even just yesterday, somebody bought just the dies, because the dies cut out so many cute images in the paper. Some people bought, both of the suites, and a lot of people love the paper because there's so much, and you'll see what I mean when I say there's so much you can do with that. And then, I think I stapled together two of the wrong sheets. Anyway, so there's a few more stamp sets, another bundle and such. Not a lot more. This is kind of the main thing of it, and I'm not going to worry about what else there is, because this is what I'm going to show you in today's video. Now I'm wondering if I passed along the other one with two non-usable things, or maybe that's just all I printed out because people wanted that information too. So I'm not going to worry about it. All right, here we have, it's called Silly Old Bear 12 by 12 Designer Series paper. We had some interesting conversation about this too, because only the United States market, not our global unit, can sell this suite because of licensure, and the licensure just expired for us here in the United States, so we could do this. But it has the original English version looking characters and colorization. We were even talking like the the newer kind of Americanized Piglet would have him in kind of a hot pink sweater, and the old version is kind of with the darker, the green and such. And what the best part about this is a lot of our new in colors, if not all of them, are showing up here in this paper. So we've got the hydrangea hue, the golden glow, the peaceful pine, the barely blush, and probably some crisp cantaloupe. And so they're kind of all in there. So anyway, 2 sheets of this. And yeah, I was just going to see if these are the ones that the dies. Nope, these aren't the ones that the dies cut out. And then just a really nice, like early espresso and golden glow color there for the background, nice background. And this is the one where a lot of the dies can cut out these. And so we've got 2 sheets of this, and then the back side is kind of a cloudy hydrangea hue. And then we've got some scenes, so 2 sheets of the scenes here. They can just be cut out. And there were some people here yesterday that said, oh, these would make nice scrapbooking layouts. And Winnie the Pooh is a hot thing. So baby cards, nursery, photo albums, stuff like that. And I want to make a baby girl baby card with this kind of gingham look with the barely blush. Now, these are the fun scene ones. I'll have a different card a different day, but I'll give you a sneak peek of that, showing what you can do with some of these scenes. So just basically cutting these out, mounting them on the card base, and you're kind of set. And you could actually add a couple of the characters, either the die cuts from the card or the DSP, or just the images, the stamped images colored in, and add those too. And then how fun is that? Kind of the cute little silhouette images of all the characters in hydrangea hue. And then some more kind of scene builders here. And at a class that I recently did, I'll do this as a separate video a different day, but you can see I just kind of took this and used the frames, a couple of them, and worked to make that. So lots of different choices and words that can go along with those. And then of course the stripes are always wonderful. So that's kind of fun. And here we have that 100-acre woods and just Pooh kind of hanging out here and there a little bit. And so this can make a great backdrop for a scrapbook page, or even just break it down and have it be parts of your cards too. And then this is excellent too for the 100-acre woods. Love that map look. So the only struggle for me using this at all is what to narrow down and start using. Like, I just look at the paper and my brain goes just silly with ideas and things that I want to do. But then for yesterday's stamp camp, the crazy part was I designed a card that used 0 designer series paper, which, if you know me, that's like my crux. That's what I start with almost as my base of inspiration and everything. So to come up with a card not using it was really weird when that paper is so fantastic. So these are the parts of the product suite. So we've got the 100-acre woods here, and it's 3D, very large. So you could have card bases and such go this way or this way, depending on your the lineation of your card and such. And then here we've got a couple bundles. So we've got all these cute critters here that you can stamp, die cut, color in, just cute. And then here's the dies, and the dies have a lot of other little images. So we've got little, like even the honey leaking over the honey pot, and the cute little critters, and some beehives, some leaves. And then these are little fence posts that you can make signs with, and even a tree trunk and such. And then the other bundle has all these fantastic frames, which every time I see great frames like this, I'm like, this is going to be a forever I'm keeping type stamp set, because these are just so great. And I love that they have stamped images for the frames that can also coordinate with that too. So you can put images right in there, or put some of these sayings in there too. And the sayings are just perfect. There's one that just really almost like made me just give all the feels of not quite tearing up, but maybe just, you know, Old friends are the best friends, or the best kind of days are the days spent together. And sometimes it's not even the words, but just seeing it play out with the relationships of these cute little critters. I know I must have been tired. So anyway, those are the products there. Hi there, Donna. And so, and Tammy, hello there too. And Marie, I was so busy with my products, I didn't look up to see who was kind of catching up with me here. So, let me, oh yeah, and I also wanted to show, my upline sent me a little something with this card, and here she has stamped out the Eeyore and colored him in with hydrangea hue, and she loves to incorporate the paper pumpkin add-ons, and so she used the paper pumpkin add-ons in here, and then also the 100 Acre Woods. I've done this at my last class, and she did it here. Use kind of the blending brushes to go over the cardstock, and that just makes that whole image pop there too. So whenever I have extras, I like to show you guys just to give you even more ideas. So what I have here is the card base of Early Espresso. It just really matches that whole vintage look of Winnie the Pooh, and it's opening this way. And then to save time, I just took a 4" by 5 1/4" piece of that new In Color Golden Glow, and you can see the 3D just really makes that river just deep, and the trees just pop. And like I said, if you want more, just take the blending brush. Oh yes, okay, I'm back. That wheel spinning, it's that wheel of death, and I'm like, oh, it says trying to reconnect, and there's nothing I can do. If I tap my screen, it will take the video off. So hopefully I can get through without that happening again. And I don't know if anybody else got even just like plain kicked off, but I just try and not say anything and just hope it catches up with me. All right, so with our In Colors, we've got all this beautiful ribbon that coordinates. So this is the Golden Glow bordered ribbon. Very easy to work with, and nice size as far as the width and the texture to make tying it very nice and easy too. So I'm just going to wrap that around here. A lot of times I do the ribbon last, but I kind of want this as a gauge so that I don't get my focal point images stamped and put on there and then covered up by ribbon. Oops, by accident. Definitely need my ribbon cutting scissors versus my regular do-alls here for that. My ribbon cutting ones, when I don't use them for anything but cutting ribbon, they stay nice and sharp and slice through things like butter. Okay, just gonna clear that one up. I think I kind of started and stopped when it wasn't the right scissor. Okay, so just have that on there too. And if you're using up other supplies, sometimes people will be like, oh, I've got this and I forgot about ribbon and I like that, and this is already on the way. Some other options that I had people use were some Early Espresso ribbon. Can't see the end of it here. It's kind of like a faux suede, or it's kind of a cottony feel, and that looked really nice with the card too. And then not too long ago, we had this really fun, oh, what was the name of it too? Even the name was fun. Irregular weave trim. Yeah, so that looked kind of fun on the card too, because it gave it that natural look. And I even had some of that shimmery gold ribbon that expired not too long ago, or retired. And it doesn't expire. Ribbon does not expire. It retired. So it was fun to see everybody's cards look a little different. And I think people love the options. Just because what I make with a card doesn't mean it has to be your favorite. And I never find my feelings hurt at all. I love seeing what people create with and what they like too. So out of the dies, what I did ahead of time is die cut this fun little frame just to kind of be our landscape builder. So that's going to go on there. And before I do that, let's do some stamping. I literally, from my dining room table, just plucked off the pieces that were left over from yesterday's stamp camp. And that's why I was just a couple minutes late popping on, because all of a sudden I looked and I'm like, I don't even have my Big Shot back there, or my Take Your Pick tool and stuff like that. So I thought we need that for today. So I've got that, and I've got a die. Yep, oh, there it is. Okay. And then the other frame that's part of the bundle here is already pre-cut So the sentiments that I had them choose from, it never hurts to keep looking up. And you can see Piglet's looking up there. I think what I'm going to use, though, is Old Friends Are the Best Friends. I'm just going to stamp that out. Oops. There. I was going to say, sometimes it just likes to stick. Okay, and now we can do our die cutting. Just going to set that off so that we don't get any ink on anything. And I'm just going to put that on there. And the coloring is just really fun too. With the blends, they have perfect colors for these vintage characters too. The Golden Glow, like sometimes I'm like, I wonder if Stampin' Up! Thought about this product first or the in colors. And I know the in colors are really in with home decor, fashion, and things like that. So definitely happening colors, but yet I feel like it just fits the Winnie the Pooh perfectly, or especially the vintage. Now I'm going to kind of crank my camera down just a little bit because some of you say, oh, I like it when you go really close for your coloring. So hopefully you can see that. So I've got the Golden Glow. I'm going to start with my dark Golden Glow, and I'm just going to outline Pooh here. And I made the mistake of saying, oh gosh, this Golden Glow, it's the perfect color for coloring Pooh. And my friend laughed and said, Belle, think about what you just said. It doesn't quite sound right. So I'm like, yeah, it is a great color for coloring Pooh. I should say Winnie the Pooh. All right, so I'm just going to go and keep kind of outlining there. And wherever the artist has those extra little sketch marks, and I kind of just color those in darker too, because that'll give shadow and depth, like so. And then I'm just going to go back over it with my light Golden Glow and try and catch those edges and pull that together and have that blend. These are just the smoothest for blending. Even if you start out with lines, they just disappear. And that's why you can even go from edge to edge and fill in, and it's just gonna look seamless and smooth. Yeah, his legs just look like a little plush toy because they're so chunky, soft looking. Okay, and then Piglet here. I've got both dark and light, Barely Blush. So I'm going to start with the dark. And this is a pretty light pink color. That's also why I like doing these videos, so that if you're kind of like wondering, like, what color is, you know, the Barely Blush? How barely is the blush color and such? And so doing videos like this and just being able to show you it in action is kind of nice. So I did most of that outlining, and I'm just coming back with the light, a little bit on the inside of the arm, but most of that I just did all with the dark. And then this is that new Peaceful Pine color, very, very pretty. And so because of all the ribbing in the sweater, on my sample I did light, or I should say dark, kind of like that, and then came over with the light. But because his sweater's ribbed, you could hardly tell. So I went, you know what, we're going to just do it all dark. And then because of the way Stamp Camp worked yesterday, we needed the light Peaceful Pine for different projects. So it was like, oh, that's just, whoops, sorry about that. It's kind of the way it was meant to be. So hopefully you can see that nice and close, not too close. I kind of wasn't paying attention to my camera angle there. Right now I'm going to zoom out just a skosh to show you how to assemble the card here. All right, so now I'm going to just flip him over. And like literally, I love it when at the end of the day, this is a good Stamp Camp. People were using up supplies, and I'm down to like a couple dimensionals on my sheet here. I was going to say, I know I brought some also. Yeah, it's just, I always say to people, holler if some supply ran out that I don't even know. Too, because I don't always like count exactly how many dimensionals people are going to need. I just kind of go, okay, they should need about these many sheets, and there we go. So I'm gonna put about 4 dimensionals here, there, and I'm kind of putting them in places where Pooh and Tigger aren't on the back side, so that it doesn't get kind of double popped up in the same exact area. I'm just going to kind of, actually want to tuck that, I think, under like that. Okay. And then the Old Friends Are the Best Friends. I think what I'm going to do for that, whoops, dropped my sheet of dimensionals. I'm just going to kind of eye that. And the fun thing too is listening to people make this card and saying, oh, I know who I'm going to send this to. That makes my day too, because it doesn't matter what kind of card they're making, whether it be a baby card or whatever, just knowing that they're going to indeed turn around and send these cards, or what my goal is when people attend the class. So we've got that. Now for embellishments, I thought it would be kind of fun to use these new butterflies. These are the new 2026 through 2028 in color butterflies, and they're just so precious, tiny looking. And so I thought, oh, let's use a couple of the gold ones. So I'm just going to take one of the large gold ones here and kind of have that fluttering above Piglet a little bit, and then a small one. I love the Take Your Pick tool. I can see that some people missed the self-adhesive underneath there, and so sometimes people want to pull them off, but having a tool or tweezer or something, or even a scissor tip to get the adhesive off will give you better results. So I wanted something to fill in that space, so that was a good embellishment. But when I went over here, I'm like, okay, what should I do? I didn't want it to look like, I don't know, like stuff too silly for butterflies down low. I don't know. It wouldn't be terrible. But I thought, oh, I don't want to miss the opportunity of using the cutest little dies. And I'm going to pull them out to show you, which make them even more fun. These little acorn dies. I just have some here in my tray. But the dies, they cut 2 acorns and 2 tops at once, because they're so tiny. I'm glad when Stampin' Up! Allows us to be able to cut more than one item at a time. Sometimes they'll even have like 3 or 4. Because of sizing, I could easily lose a die, possibly that's super small, and then just not having to die cut as many times with something totally small like that. So I'm just going to take a mini glue dot here and just put that at kind of the base of my acorn top, and then attach that to my acorn here. I'm going to do that a second time. Oops. Oh, they're so tiny, they almost go like right underneath my fingernail. Just attach that to a glue dot, and then fold it under, and then find the other base. And the colors I'm using here, Early Espresso for the top, Pecan Pie for the bottom. And now I can flip those over, and let's pull over some mini dimensionals here. I'm just going to take a mini there and another mini here, and then poke that top off like so, and like so. Okay, and then I'm just going to kind of overlap, putting the acorn there and then tucking this one underneath. Hello there, Elizabeth. Good to see you on here. All right, so now we've got cute little acorns, and I feel like they just fit the vibe of the 100 Acre Woods. Nobody said, oh, this looks like fall. Nobody, because it just looks cute and it just matches the card, right? And I just love using something that is more of an alive looking embellishment for a change too. So that's kind of fun. And for the inside, old friends are the best friends. It could be a happy birthday. It could be, you know, just a note card thinking of you. So I kind of want to leave the inside open for just to have it be more versatile. But they've got in the stamp set these cute little honey jars. So I'm just inking that up with my Memento Black. If you really love to color, you could just line those up, color them in all different colors if you wanted. I'm leaving mine just blank with the black look there, so you can see that. And that's going to go on the inside of the card. So stamping on my normal 4 by 5 1/4 piece of Very Vanilla there. So old friends are the best friends. There you go. Like I said, coming up soon, I hope to get some more examples using that suite, because I have ideas galore. Sorry about that. My camera stand is a little sticky. And I don't know what my schedule will be for coming online too, because it's a busy time on the farm, and I have another class next week in Fairmont on Thursday with big numbers already, but I still will have spots. So if you haven't signed up and would like to come to Fairmont next Thursday, let me know. If you want more details, let me know. I can send you that link too. So depending on, you know, just graduations, it's a busy weekend and such. So I don't know if I'll have more time to come online or if I should devote all my time to planning, preparing, crafting, and cutting for my next class so that I feel prepared for that too. But just wanted to tell you that I'm alive because it's been a while. Like I said, I lost my voice. It's coming back. Not the greatest still, but just glad to be able to share with you using my voice. So see you later. Bye-bye.